Hey guys, uh, today we're going to talk about topic number five, our orientation. Topic number five is how do we able to understand what the learners need in practicing English. You see, in our school we have a lot of inquiries from the public, and most of them are students, and they also comes from all walks of life like adults. And before we were to present our programs to these likely learners, we will have to analyze what do they really need, and what do they really want, their objective of learning English. So before we move on further, let's touch on the students part. You see, we have the adult English and the academic English. Basically, we just segregated into both categories. So if you are talking about the academic English, I would say that uh, we need to really realize the learner's aged. That means if that is a student, how old are you? Why do you want to learn English, and what is your current level? That means when I mention current level, it simply means like where are you studying and which level are you in, whether you're in a secondary school, in the primary school, or in the pre-university stage, or are you a college student? So we need to know. And of course, from there we get the age of the students to able slightly to gauge where are they. But you cannot get the exact proficiency of their English level. But from the age and from their current level, the study level, you're able to more or less analyze which level are they in, whether in the elementary, the intermediate level, or in the advanced. But this is not accurate. So we also need to know whether what kind of studies, what kind of education they are in. Whether are you belongs to the government schools, are you studying in the Chinese private schools, or are you in the international level, international schools? Because as I mentioned before, different schools, different kinds of schools, they provide different kinds of curriculum, and the English examination and test it differs from different kinds of schools. So, besides that, you really need to ask the students or even the parents who came in to inquire about our English programs for their children or for the child. We have to ask them who actually wanted. Is it the parents wanted the child to learn, or the child, they themselves wanted to learn, or is it on both, agreeable both condition? So we need to know. But it's always good that we have the children who like to learn, or either the parents like to learn and the children agree, the child agree, and I think this will make things much better, because it's much more encouraging that the success rate will be much higher. Likewise, if you have parents who force the children to learn or the child to learn, you will find that it's always under the obligation, which we don't advise that to happen, because in English, it's just like a teamwork. The learners, the teacher, and the school, it's like a teamwork. So if we have to work together to able to, I mean, for the school, we have to assess the level of the students and the progress. For the teacher, they have to ensure the right methodology to help them. For the students, they must be determined to succeed in learning English. So if a good teamwork will make things much easier. As you can see, we always hope that if this is attained, that means like if you know the level, you know which schools, the age of the students, and who wanted them to learn, or is the learner who they themselves would like to learn, and then we come across that if everything is ready, everything is positive, then we will offer an assessment test to the learner. Because before a learner were to enroll into our school, we will assess their English proficiency to determine which level or which class they are more suitable in, whether they are in the elementary, they are in the intermediate, or in the advanced. So we need to know. And with the assessment test, we done it in two ways. One, the in-house assessment test will basically help them in the test will be in written to justify their grammatical strength and their grammars, the tenses, and the vocabs. And of course, we also helps the students to test them in reading, so to see whether how well they can read, their fluency in the speech, the usage of the punctuations, and the language expression. So with this, we're able to exactly determine the level or the proficiency of their English, and from there we're able to assess the right their level, and also to allocate the right program for them. So I will give you a very simple example. It's like if a student is in Form 1, and from the government school, and we realize that he's 13 years old, he's not in the removed class. If you would like to know what is a removed class, you can check with Google. It simply means that students who failed in Malay, they go into government school, they have to retain one more extra year. We used to call that the removed year, removed class, which instead of 5 years in the Form 5, they have to go through 6 years education in the secondary level. So if you have a student, for example, which is in Form 1, not involved in removed, he should be 13 years old, and then we will check it out that, oh, they would like to improve their English. There's no tuition available for them, so the parents is looking for one good school to help the child to improve their language, the language media, the English language. And then we will give them an assessment test, and with the assessment test, the students, we were able to know the students' level, whether they are in the which level they are exactly in. So we have the lower elementary, the higher elementary, the lower intermediate, the higher intermediate, or the advanced level, and from there we allocate the right class for them. You see, to help a learner to learn English, we have to ensure the first few things is that, of course, we will look into their financial status, whether they are affordable, because we are a CFR center. We are not a tuition center, so we don't give low range lessons, low rate lessons. And instead, as a CFR center, we charge a little bit higher. So we have to ensure that they are financially strong or financially sound, and most important, we also need to know that the parents are authorized, or whether the parents they are the authority personnel who are able to grant the children learning the program. And we have to ensure that the child or the students has the need to learn English. Yeah, you will say that most of the students has the needs, but we do come across a lot of students who are great readers. They speak very well, they write very well. I don't think there's a need. For example, I just give you, for example, we have students who came in to us and wanted to take like Cambridge English, and they wanted to score a pass. And we find that through the assessment test, he or she is eligible to get a pass. So there's no need for them to attend any class, because the objective is to get a pass in the examination for Cambridge. So we will advise them they don't have to accept only to enroll for the test. Straightforward. They don't have to go into a preparation course to strengthen their English level. They don't have to. Okay, now let's come to the next category, which is the adult category. If you come to the adult category, we have to know, first of all, why did the adult want to learn English? They have a lot of objective. Why do they want to learn English? You see, we have housewives who like to learn English because of the children. We do have retiree who learn English because they have a lot of free time, and they just wanted to improve their social life. So to speak better English is always an advantage to them. But most commonly, we do have the people who are working class, and basically they need that for workplace. They need that for their career. They need that for even for future jobs, and to handle the job responsibilities. And there's a lot of reasons. So we need to ask the adult, why do they need to learn English? And if like for example, if you come across a housewife who like to learn English, most housewives would like to learn communicative English. So this is through our experience, we know. So we don't have to give a program that is more on written or whatsoever, because they are basically, they would like to able to communicate well for their travel, for their social life, for to help the children, and that's good enough. So as you can see, for adults, we need to know what is the objective, what do they want to learn English, and of course, we also need to ask, do they have any past experience in learning English after the school days? They might attend some tuition class, or they might attend to some schools, but they might not find that there is much improvement, and we need to know why, and to analyze why there is not much improvement. I give you a very simple example is that you come across a a working class executive. He went to a certain school, an ag school, to learn English. And after which he do not find there's much improvement, he came to see us. And when I analyzed for him, then I realized that probably is that the teacher did not use the right methodology. Number two, it can be because of the syllabus, or number three is because of the too long an interval to attend a class. For example, once a week, where this executive does not has much environment to expose or to communicate in English, or to use his language after learning it. So that's the reason why he might find there's not much improvement. So we have to ask what's the past experience, whether they have attended any classes or night classes before, and to get a better understanding of the students or of the adults. And then we need to we will ask the adult. If it's a working adult, we would like to ask, is there any specific English they would like to learn, or in any specific fields in English? For example, we do have students, adults who came to us and would like to learn English for business terms, business terminology. And even in business terminology, we will analyze whether they would like to learn commercial English, business writing, financial English, import-export English. We caters all kinds of English. For London House of English, we caters all kinds of English for students. So we need to ask, is there any specific fields they request? But most of the adults, they would like to learn English for social usage, which is known as general English, which is much easy. And among 10 of the adult learners, most of the learners are Chinese educated, Malay educated, and they don't speak well, they don't communicate well, they couldn't write well in English, and they would like to learn more on social English, which is much easy, which is very high demand in our school, high demand where we caters a lot of social English classes for adults in our school. And as you can see, of course, it's unlike the students. We don't do the assessment for these adults, but instead normally we will ask the adult to give them a 60 second of self intro, like what you guys have done, to listen to their fluency of speech, how much vocabulary they can use, how many words they use in their speech, and also most importantly is that did they apply the punctuation in the speech, in the self intro, or certain subjects that we ask them to describe, and how much they able to describe and express their language. You see, they're just able to understand the language, they're able to speak the language, but they're unable to express vividly in the sentence. So from there, we are able to know which level they are in, and from there, we are able to guide them through, to able to help them. Right, and it's much easier that you can see that most adults who came in to see us, a lot of them are just based, as what I mentioned, they would like to go for social English. So basically, as I mentioned, before a presentation to a learner, we normally will have to know a few elements. There's one, whether they are financially sound, they can affordable for our programs. Number two is that are they the authority? They are the authorized personnel. Number three, do they really have the need? You see, because English is a need, it's not an interest. You cannot treat English as an interest, because after a few months, probably you'll find that, oh, I have no interest in learning, and then you just forget about it. And you're going to waste your time, you're going to waste your money. So as you can see, we need to know the the FA. Then the last one is the need, FAN. Or you always must remember the word FAN. Okay, financial, authority, and the need. So as you can see, for students, but basically the authorized maker, the authorized personnel are their parents or their guardians, and the need, of course, it goes to the learner, the students themselves. And of course, if the parents can afford, and it's much easier for us to present to them. That is how easy that we do presentation and enrollment. uh, as you can see, whether you have to take note whether they are students or whether they are adult. So whenever we have any inquiries that comes in, we always ask the caller, are you looking for academic English or are you looking for adult English? If they are looking for adult English, normally, as I mentioned again, they always goes for communicative English or conversational English. So which we have plenty of classes for them, plenty of different schedules for them to fit into their free time. So as you can see today, I just have to mention to you, it's so simple that being an education consultant or English language consultant, this is what you have to do. So this is, you have to remember, this is the procedure you have to do to help your learners, whether they are students or whether they are adult. So meanwhile, I trust that it's easy to understand. But if you do not, you have any inquiries, you can always ask me the WhatsApp. But nevertheless, I wish you a good time, and by then I will see you again on topic number 6. Cheers. Take care.